Welcome back to unapologetic exotical content, where delusion meets its lace-front reckoning. This video was requested by her, that supporter who stays knocking over shelves of edge control just by walking past. She said, "Let the wig dragging begin." And I said, "Bet," because not only am I dragging that wig, I'm spritzing it with water until the lace stiffens like last year's resolution. So let's get into it. There's this pattern I keep seeing in the self-love lounge circuits. Some creators always avoid placing side-by-side visuals with exoticals, especially not our hair. Ever wonder why? Because deep down, they know comparison isn't their friend. They say it's about unity, but it feels more like a Wi-Fi signal, stronger when we're not near. They accuse us of being overhyped or clinging to privilege. But projection is the name of their favorite yoga pose. Instead of confronting beauty standards, they invent excuses for why our existence feels like a threat. One channel even claimed people envy their crispy coils. And I said, respectfully, "Sis, nobody's lining up to replicate a style that looks like it lost a fight with static electricity. It's okay to love yourself. Just don't force us to co-sign delusion." Some say exoticals only make content to protect their pretty pass. First of all, who's revoking it? The same person trying to blend contour with hope and accessorizing with a bonnet that predates the civil rights era? Be serious. These same empowerment advocates swear they're the original blueprint, but their kids end up looking like they were cast from a whole different mold. They're out here denouncing systems while choosing Brad as the baby blueprint. Now their child is an exotical, and boom, life served them a front row seat to the very features they said were overhyped. Meanwhile, I don't have to wake up to theirs, and thank goodness. If I did, I'd have biceps like a bodybuilder from tugging at all that lace glue. So let's break it down. If you're the template, why upgrade with every generation? That's like saying your flip phone is the standard while using Face ID on your iPhone 15. They love to say, "Y'all all look alike," while simultaneously blending into every checkout lane like a human barcode. That's not just shade. That's pattern recognition with a side of scanner beeps. Meanwhile, we're the ones being mistaken for celebrities at gas stations. I was at the Grove in LA, minding my business, when paparazzi literally jumped out the bushes, cameras cocked, then started whispering to each other, "Wait, who is she?" Next thing you know, they retreated like raccoons because I wasn't a celeb on the streets. I'm in the tax bracket that hires the ones in the tabloids. The real gag? Some of them recite daily affirmations like it's vocal warm-ups before clocking in for their shift at Delusion Inc. And let's get one thing straight. Not all makeup is enhancement. Some of it is emergency reconstruction. A true triple threat doesn't need scaffolding. She is the blueprint. When she adds too much, it starts interrupting the aesthetic. Think chili. Think Karuche. When they overdo it, it actually distracts because the natural canvas was already art gallery ready. Now let's talk about the classic line. "Nobody's jealous of exoticals." Ma'am, that right there tells me you've never been the subject of envy in your life. Real beauty doesn't enter a room quietly. It causes a ripple. It rearranges moods. And if you're confidently saying no one is ever jealous of you, congratulations. You just confessed without being asked. That's not a flex. That's an alert from the struggle channel. These are women who've always had a seat in the friend group, always hyped by people who aren't exactly known for high standards, especially the ones who aren't threatened by what doesn't stand out. That kind of false confidence grows when the compliments are pity-sourced and intimidation-free. They know they're not the one, but they've been getting gaslit into thinking they are. And that's where the confusion kicks in. In-group bias explains why average-looking women in certain circles are hyped like they're front row at Fashion Week. They aren't elevated because of appeal. They're promoted to level the field. That's Sociology 101. And don't even get me started on those "everybody tries to get my number" testimonials in the empowerment aisle. I've watched a few of those clips, and let's just say, I cracked the code immediately. It's not that you're universally captivating, it's that you're non-threatening. There's a difference. Let's call it what it is. Confidence built on being non-threatening, not actual beauty, Because when you don't shake the room, you're less likely to cause tremors. And that's not the same as being admired. I once went to a women's seminar, got invited out of curiosity. One woman stood up and said, "I'm finally being seen as beautiful." The room erupted into applause. I didn't. Not because I'm rude, because I've never needed a group hug to believe in my face card. When you're genuinely attractive, the world doesn't clap. It either avoids eye contact or starts acting funny. There's no kumbaya moment, just compliments wrapped in competition. That's the thing. They say unattractive women are ignored. No ma'am. They're the most encouraged. They're often chosen as mascots for faux empowerment campaigns, while naturally stunning women are labeled as too confident, full of themselves, or threatening. That's not invisibility. That's strategic silencing. These empowerment channels know they've cried at least once over a flat twist gone wrong, and I've literally witnessed relatives break down mid-hair session, and not from the heat protectant. It was internal. But they keep the facade going, and their circle, not wanting to disrupt the ecosystem, hypes them up with the classic Yas Queen ritual. So let's just say it. Some folks are being used as placeholders, symbols for inclusivity that aren't even rooted in beauty, but politics. And when actual beauty walks in the room, suddenly there's tension in the group chat. That's why they don't comment here anymore. I blew their lace off, and the wind took it straight to a support group. This video isn't just a roast, it's a reality check wrapped in petty. And the message is simple: stop trying to Photoshop truth. We're done dimming our light to soothe someone else's projection. So shout out to her, that supporter, who handed me this topic like a full lace front unveiling ceremony. And let's be very clear, this isn't hate. It's called social psychology, evolutionary biology, and a sprinkle of inconvenient truth. We're just naming what's obvious but rarely said out loud. Some folks aren't ready to face reality without a little filter assist, but we'll be right here. Glow undisturbed, confidence unbothered. And if they try to twist your words for simply stating facts, politely tell them to kiss both cheeks and pour you a drink while they're at it.